ProJared.
Yeah.
ProJared is a gamer.
He
and yeah, so there was, if you haven't heard, there was, and we didn't talk about it. He didn't give his side of the argument. He was accused of a number of things. He's a guy with a YouTube channel. He was accused of soliciting nude photos from minors, or at least receiving them. He was accused of cheating on his wife by his wife at the time. And I believe he may have said this isn't true and then kind of disappeared for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, disappeared. You got lambasted, right? You got destroyed.
He lost 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers, and man,
every major YouTuber took a dump on him.
I can't imagine. We just talked about that. Has to be gut wrenching.
That's just a lot of people going 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and watching your numbers and your livelihood.
Yeah.
And your it's not just these fake numbers. It's income must have been impacted as well. I'd be shocked. People that he knew, like, okay, that's just that's a person you don't know. I'm sure he had people turn on him.
Oh, for sure.
So, I don't know any of the facts.
Apparently his wife turned on him.
Yeah, I don't know any of the facts, but he comes back out and says, here's a read receipt. These were for people of above age. There were no minors. He goes through and in his own way that people have found convincing debunks at least the 2 claims that there were minors that he didn't check. And
well, high level says that his wife and he had an open relationship. She knew all about the other relationships.
Yep.
She encouraged the other relationships. It wasn't cheating. It was actually very pushed by her. I don't know. Listen, I don't know either of them, and I haven't watched any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But his version of it is that this was highly supported.
What's just incredible, and we've now seen this several times. We've seen the James Charles. We've seen the other thing. We've seen all these stories, and I don't know that people will ever learn. I hope they do. But you don't think so?
Ever? Or like next 12 months?
Next 12 months.
No.
You don't think so?
It's just too good to get excited about, man.
It's like if you're the judge and you hear the prosecution and you go, case closed.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear anything else on the other side. I don't know the truth of it, but don't you want to hear what the alternative viewpoint
is? But it's just so juicy. It's so easy to get excited. It's so easy to hate the guy or to shit on the guy.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I don't think it's going anywhere. I think things will come up. People will react strongly. Then it'll get debunked. Or even if it doesn't get debunked, people react strongly and then just forget later. Mm-hmm. But nah, that's not going away.
So H3, I told you a little bit about this. We can rehash. They had previously, I think, been very critical of
Sure.
ProJared on their podcast, and then I watched yesterday the follow-up. And in line with this book that I'm reading, it's very hard to take a moral stance, receive new information, and switch it. And this is one of the reasons.
I got you. You're saying this is his version of the brother sister hooking up thing. That he thought ProJared was bad. He said ProJared was bad. Then new information came out, and he's like, "Well, I already said ProJared's bad, so ProJared's bad."
And he very publicly said it. And so his only alternative would be to say, "Mea culpa. I did something not good." So either I'm the bad guy or he's the bad guy. And you
don't
can
have to be that. You could just say, I learned my lesson. I overreacted, and I won't in the future. There's a way to just come out and be like, I'm really sorry.
Sure, easy to say, but tough in the moment, because what it feels like is I'm the bad guy, or hindbrain is going, I gotta. This is the whole point of this book, is that our brains did not evolve to seek truth. They evolved to keep us alive. Mm-hmm. Truth is who cares? I need to stay alive. I need to make sure that my tribe likes me. I need to make sure that I'm not kicked out. I need to get what I need. So I'll cheat a little bit, but not too much. And it's really tough. And he's live is the other thing. So he says these things in the heat of a moment, and then he's got to defend them in another heat of the moment. And I watched it, and in my opinion, and I would like to speak to him, though I'm a little guy on YouTube, so he might never talk to me. I thought that it was really weak. It was a very cognitively conflated argument. He repeatedly falls back on the fact that he's creepy. He conflates the soliciting of minors with adults, and then and just gets louder. And that's, again, a surefire sign of cognitive dissonance, is when you have to. It's not always. When there's probably, I should make a list of 10, and when 5 or 6 of 10 are hit. But yeah, it was
5 signs you're winning an argument.
5 signs.
The other guy starts getting louder.
Yeah, the other guy starts shouting. But yeah, it was tough to watch. It was tough for me to watch him dig his heels in. And
sure, and just to be clear, we have no idea what happened or who was right or wrong. But you're just saying it's interesting that in the face of new information, he will not change his position.
Yeah, to fall back on a creepy thing, to fall back on this is creepy. And also, we've talked about this. There was the thing that he repeatedly said is that there's a power dynamic there, which is you're a YouTube creator. These are your fans, and they want to get your attention, and they want to impress you. And I think that's a misuse of the power dynamic argument. The power dynamic argument is for the workplace, where they are not interested necessarily in a sexual relationship with you, but you control their livelihood and their finances.
And you threaten to fire them, or you imply
and you extort them. And there's this power dynamic. But there's a power dynamic in every single human relationship ever.
Sure, anytime anyone sends a nude, it's because they want your attention.
When somebody says if you ask a woman or a man on a date, and you say, "I'd really like to go," they say, "Maybe, but you're gonna have to take me to this restaurant." There's a power dynamic at play. There's not till the third date there's a power dynamic at play. All of these things are occurring in normal human interaction, not fan to fan. And I would argue that with many beautiful people, they experience a power dynamic akin to a low-level famous person. So to say that you should get nudes or whatnot, I don't understand. The other thing is it's a very cherry-picked, it's so creepy that he receives these, so creepy. Has he ever talked about Dan Bilzerian? Has he ever talked about the myriad athletes, myriad actors, myriad everyone else who is receiving and soliciting nudes from their fans? It seemed like a case of really singling this guy out, and I don't think it was fair. I think I do not know if he did bad things. I'm not even commenting on that. I'm more interested in the thought processes that allow us to come to the conclusions that we come to.
Well, the one thing. So again, I have just completely avoided all of this, but the one thing you said that I thought was interesting is that a lot of these people made videos about this guy, and none of them reached out to him, which is fascinating. That you can be a news channel. H3, Phil DeFranco, whatever.
Well, we're not reaching out to H3. I didn't get his statement on this, and I understand that. I think that this is the difficult thing, which I will try to do, is to take a deep breath before I sit down in front of this microphone and recognize, do you have the whole story, or even have you heard the other person's side, and be very careful in my condemnation of others. That's what I will try to do, because I'm not going to reach out.
Let's get H3 on the podcast.
Please come. Yeah, dude.
I'd love it.
I want to go on your podcast, bruh. No, I'd love to talk about these things, and I'm a huge fan. So that was it was a tough video to watch, though. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't get all the way through it. I probably got 30 minutes. Maybe
he turns around. Maybe at the end
he was getting louder. I had to turn it off. He was getting more heated. Maybe he calms down at the end and goes, "I was just fucking around."
Guys, I punked you, Charlie. I was hoping for a Christmas.
And here I am making a video, without complete information. So, I'm the same as everybody else.